As I said before, it seems like the vice principal just sucks almost as much as Kobayakawa, almost because it's hard to suck as much.
I'm counting on you, Phantom Thieves.
Quiet down!
Now Kawakami's gonna have even more trouble controlling the class of teenage boys, which is already hard enough as it is, but now they're all obsessed with the Phantom Thieves.
Answer this question.
So robot comes from a word in Czech. Where in Europe is the Czech Republic located? Okay, yeah, this one's a little different. This one is Central Europe. I believe in the original Persona 5, this question was about what the root word for robot actually means. Is she going to mention it? Okay, here we go. Comes from the word robota, which actually means slave labor. So that makes it even more fitting of a metaphor.
Nice going!
Hey, finally the nice going's back. That's a cynical way to look at it. Well, at least she doesn't have to do a whole maid service job anymore, thanks to us.
Hey.
Actually, we do kinda still have time to relax. So, today we're gonna be doing something quite interesting. And for that, we're actually gonna go to Chihaya, and we're gonna be doing an affinity reading, doing a reading for kindness. Actually, I want to talk to the lawyers here and see what they're talking about now. Probably Okumura Foods. I mean, you know, it's always the little things that have a ripple effect. I hope that taking down this one company will change things. Again, it's so sad that everyone just treats it like the norm in Japan that companies exploit their workers, but that's just kind of what happens. Okay, yeah, we haven't told her that we dealt with Fukurai yet, so she's still saying the trickster will help her. Not aware that the trickster already has. But yeah, we're getting a luck reading for kindness today. Okay, and we do need to do a Hangman affinity reading as well. Okay, yeah, we only needed one. That's fine.
What do you think?
Hanged is a pretty difficult arcana to rank up. What are you saying this time? Oh, actually, that's reminded me about something! Okay, then, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone would want to buy from you anyway. Speaking of which, they do restock the Thief Masks eventually. Yes, they have restocked them, so I'll take 2 more, just so that I have a full set of 4 for the party. You don't need more than 4, obviously. And while I'm here, so I don't forget later, I'll buy the rest of the books that I need. Yeah, Night Skies will unlock the Planetarium, and Musty Pages will unlock Jinbocho Booktown. So, I already unlocked that via the Star Confidant, but if you haven't done that by now, I'd recommend reading Musty Pages, because unlocking Jinbocho is pretty important. So now, we're gonna head to Akihabara. Because, yeah, remember that Gamer King that we could see on the map, and the map kind of spoiled that they were a confidant? In fact, there's a card here, so that's already spoiling it too. And what's even more going to spoil it? Well, I mean, after I get the chance to use Third Eye, that will spoil it even more. That's the King. Although he's a little too young for it to count in the Persona 4 context. I've heard of people like playing as 2 players at once in like double play, but playing 2 basically systems at the same time in an online game against actual real opponents, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, this guy seems super pro-elite enough.
What do you want?
To maybe be able to beat somebody who is hacking. Yeah, I kinda doubt telling a kid like this, hey, teach me to be a super pro at this game, would go over well. Oh, so you know him.
I don't care.
You can still beat him, huh? Yeah, we'd like to know about that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean... both of these are technically true. Joker's had so many of these. Of course I know him. He's me moments. Oh yeah, I know that. I've tried to learn how to play FPS games so much and I've kind of sucked at it. I won't say I'll do anything because I'm a little worried about what he would ask us, but let's see what kind of deal he'll be offering. Okay then, well, turns out that what he's asking us is quite easy for us to achieve. Let's see what we can do. I mean, we can't do an actual meet and greet because we need to keep our identities secret, but how would we let this guy know the Phantom Thieves acknowledge him while still staying anonymous? Shinya Oda. Some people think that the famous person this guy's named after is Oda Nobunaga because he was known for using a lot of guns in his armies. Proof that you really know the Phantom Thieves without exposing our identities. Yeah, Morgana's already telling us what we need to do here. Unfortunately, this means train fares, but we're going back to the outside of LeBlanc to talk to Futaba.
Oh, hey, Yusuke.
Oh, right, okay, so I'll be splicing this in later because I accidentally selected hideouts. Yeah, this happens the next time you go to the hideout after the 5th palace is unlocked. Yeah, so Futaba is normally available today, and I would really like to catch up on her confidant, but at the same time...
All right. No.
Yeah, remember when you hacked the fan site to show us that you knew about us? Well, maybe you could do something similar here.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, we're going to be careful though, because with the current public hysteria, now this will mean people will think we're making a political statement about Gunabout's developers being corrupt or something. Or maybe people will think Gunabout's doing a Phantom Thieves collab. Which means that the game, if this was real life, would probably die, because there's this weird tendency for, basically a whole lot of mobile games that have had collaborations with Persona 5, they have a tendency to immediately die after they collab with P5. So, yeah, let's hope that Gunabout doesn't suffer that same fate. So yeah, you can tell that he's a confidant because of Third Eye. Oh, I feel like I've seen this kid somewhere. No, I was accidentally examining the security mascot there. Kind of weird there, they've got a Toys of Security mascot of all things in here. So, doing this will use up the day. Because as you can probably tell, this is the start of a new confidant. It's a little involved how you start this one, because you also have to have attempted the Mementos fight, winners don't use cheats.
Any progress with the Phantom Thieves? Calling card? Huh? Ah, there's something written on it. Thanks for your support. Please help those in need. This is a promise to you from the Phantom Thieves. We're going to post a secret message just for you on the game's official website. Oh, is this for real? I mean, you can probably just buy one of these cards at the store.
Yeah, we've already got quite a few of those right now. They actually do have a purpose, which people in the comments inform me about. I'll be showing that next time.
The official Gunabout website? Whoa! The mark of the Phantom Thieves! They hacked the site! Just like they did on Midget's site. Which means you were able to contact the real Phantom Thieves. No way! How'd you do it? Oh, that's so cool! So they want to remain anonymous. Wow, I can't believe they sent me a message. I wasn't expecting much from you, but you're actually pretty cool.
Thanks, I guess?
I wish I was able to talk with them or something, though. But you fulfilled your part of the deal, so I'll teach you how to shoot. Once you stop them from moving, you gotta hit their weak point right away. You should be able to inflict a lot of damage to the cheater this way. Let's get started. Come on, you gotta aim. No, you're just stopping their movement by doing that. No, not like that. Are you taking this seriously? You gotta focus on your second shot.
The king's swearing up a storm today.
I wonder if this made a little bit more sense with the Japanese dialogue. Maybe he was just talking rudely, because he definitely wasn't swearing much in the English dialogue.
That's what happens when he teams up with another player.
Nobody is on his level, they're all noobs.
And why everyone also watches him from a distance.
Alright, looks like you kinda got the hang of it.
Yeah, like, to be honest, like, this kind of grade school kid playing an online shooting game and swearing a lot would fit that stereotype.
I think you'll be able to beat that cheater now. I have a bad habit of swearing when I get all worked up. Sorry. But I think you have a lot of potential. More than most people. If you want, I can teach you a few other moves too. I have the ultimate trump card. So tell me more about the Phantom Thieves.
So in this case, our deal is simply just telling him stories of stuff that we generally do already. Made a deal with Shinya. Now, welcome to what I believe is the most hilarious Saya interrogation scene in the entire game.
According to the reports, it seems your skill at handling a gun is quite impressive. Either you taught yourself, or you had a capable coach by your side. Where did you learn how to handle a gun?
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast acquired a new vow. It shall become the wings of rebellion that breaketh thy chains of captivity. With the birth of the tower persona, I have obtained the winds of blessing that shall lead to freedom and new power.
So, I learned from this kid who wears a Get Smoked hat and a noob shirt, playing an online shooting game. Then Saya's probably just like, you're just messing with me, aren't you? Joker. Maybe.
Right.
The Tower Arcana, or House of God, if you can read the French on this card, is a reference to the Tower of Babel. It's one of the typically negative cards in the deck, representing destruction, sudden catastrophe, and pride before a fall. Even in its more positive interpretations, it still heralds an unprecedented upheaval in one's life, shocking them out of complacency and forcing them to take a new path. Personas of this arcana, mythologically, are either figures that have fallen from grace, or gods or deities associated with rebellion, or in Persona 5's case, typically violence, since Red Rider is part of it. Gameplay-wise, they tend to favour aggressive skill sets, and a few of them learn the best gun attack one-shot kill. The Tower Confidant is represented by a grade school gamer, Shinya Oda, which is worrying for his future, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. This Confidant is quite late, requires you to have attempted Winners Don't Use Cheats, and access to Akihabara, but it gives a pretty significant kindness boost most times you visit him. The ranks taking place in the arcade should be doable during rain, but sometimes you'll step outside, so rain may still affect the availability. Shinya has a couple of awkward aspects to his Confidant though. The first, which I haven't listed here, is if you're going for all the room decorations, his room decoration hangout has a few strict dates that it must occur on, making it very easy to miss. Secondly, this Confidant requires a Mementos request after reaching rank 8, but he won't give you the quest immediately. You actually need to wait for him to text you, and then you'll be able to undertake the request in Mementos. And when he texts you, may be unpredictable depending on where you are in the plot at the time, since it can only occur on a night with no plot-based text threads. After Iwai, Shinya is the other Confidant that boosts guns. For starting it, you gain the Downshot ability, which lets you instantly down one enemy, very good for negotiating with things that have no weaknesses. This ability was changed quite a bit in Royal, because in the base game it cost all your ammo, but since that gets refilled every fight now, instead you only get to use it once per infiltration, which is quite a steep restriction. Rank 6 improves it by letting you use it 3 times instead. In the base game, this reduced its ammo cost instead. And on that note, Shinya actually lost one of his abilities from the base game that increased your ammo capacity. I guess they felt that wasn't as necessary in Royal. The issue is that that combined with Cheap Shot meant you could probably use Downshot more than 3 times per infiltration originally. Also, say it with me, due to the buffs to technical damage in Royal, Downshot is not as necessary as it used to be. Rank 2 grants an entirely new mechanic, Bullet Hail. We'll see how this works in the next Palace infiltration, but a tip I have is to hold the button rather than mashing it, and you will always get the full effect. This just shaves off a percentage of every enemy's HP at the start of the fight, and when upgraded with Electric Slug, it's guaranteed, provided you hold the button, to halve all enemies' HP, which is kinda nice. Rank 3 lets you fire a warning shot in negotiation to scare an enemy and make it easier to obtain a persona. I don't find myself using this often, but at least it's an option. Rank 5 though is in my opinion his best ability in Royal. I talked earlier about how broken status ailment guns are, and this makes them even more likely. His Confidant is worth doing for this ability alone. His rank 10 ability, Order Special, allows Joker's gun attacks to pierce resistances and always hit the enemy. The problem with this is it only applies to actual weapon attacks and not persona skills. So if you have a persona with one-shot kill or triple down, these won't pierce immunities. Overall, Order is the one Confidant that I'd say possibly got worse in Royal compared to the base game. I feel Downshot was better there, but it's mostly because in the original, this Confidant was necessary to turn guns from bad to actually okay, while in Royal, guns are already good from the beginning. And while I'm ranting about down shots, there's a Thieves' Den award for doing 30 down shots. And even with 3 per infiltration, that's a hard ask given how late into the game this Confidant opens up. If you're going for this one, never forget to use up all your down shots, every Palace visit, every Mementos visit, and even in New Game Plus.
It's earlier than usual today. I gotta go. See you later.
And that's why I paid for the kindness boost.
Hey!
And this bit here is new to Royal, obviously, because we need to get his number. Just realized the Joker has this kind of legacy of getting owned at games by Confidants because, you know, we're Hifumi's practice partner and we're also playing co-op with this guy and he's carrying us hard.
Bye!
Like, we are being carried at this game like nobody has ever been carried before. Oh, hi there. In fact, I don't need to get jump scared by this guy because we actually are seeing him tonight, and that's why I bought a Justice persona in advance. Meanwhile, more Big Bang Burger controversy.
Now then.
Well, I mean, it seems like Okumura kind of has ties to the government and he wants to deepen them even more with this whole arranged marriage, so yeah, makes sense that they're not really able to do anything about him.
Hi.
So, here we go. This rank up has to be done after you've seen that scene with Akechi during summer vacation, and he has to be in LeBlanc for it. And this is the scene that makes the shippers go crazy because it takes place in the bathhouse. However, it's a scene that makes me go crazy for different reasons because this scene is kind of a microcosm to me of how radically Akechi has been improved in Royal. Because this scene is very similar to the one that we got during the story in Summer. The fact that none of those scenes were altered at all, the difference is really night and day if you compare them and his actual confidant in Royal. Also, there are a lot of dialogue choices in this one. So this is why I like this one. This feels like a much more natural backstory dump than the one that happened in that earlier story scene, where he was like, oh, by the way, my mother was in a relationship with some lowlife of a man with zero prompting. Just, I'll let this dialogue play out, and you judge for yourself which one's better, but I feel like most people will agree this one is. Although, before I stop talking, I have to point this out. So, this right here, in Japanese, the term that he used was literally water industry, which is a euphemism for sex worker. Although it's heavily implied in the English dialogue as well, in Japanese it's more explicitly confirmed that, yes, Akechi's mother was a sex worker. And yeah, it wasn't her fault. No longer possible, huh? Is he dead or something? We've been through far worse.
It was quite nice.
Guess it must be a draw then. At least we're not doing the Yamcha pose, so our tolerance has improved. Yeah, that almost contradicts the fact that he dumped it in front of Futaba back there. Because we're similar, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly describe them as getting along in most circumstances, but they do have a lot of parallels. Yeah, I like that choice, but, yeah. This line right here, I mean, Akechi, have you ever thought about actually joining the Phantom Thieves? I mean, your talk of opposing them on TV hasn't gone over well, so maybe you should do that whole if you can't beat them, join them thing. I mean, you seem pretty similar, you've got a lot of grievances with the adults in society. Also, this probably isn't a conversation we should be having naked. Oh boy, that's one of those lines that, and thus, thousands of fanfictions were born.
Alright.
Yeah, even though there are a lot of dialogue choices in this one, it doesn't feel overly long either. Yeah, probably best not to do one of these sauna endurance contests again. Do you two really have to be rivals in absolutely every aspect of your lives? I half expected him to call saying, "Aha, I got home faster than you." And this too sums up why I like his new confidant so much, because you never really got to know Goro Akechi in the original Persona 5. All of your interactions with him were very tied to the main plot. It was just the Detective Prince persona. You actually get to know more of who he is as a person in Royal. And I feel like it's much easier for the player to really care about his character that way. Strange territory. Well, I mean, discussions with you veering to strange territory all the time. Thesis and antithesis, I guess. Okay, so tomorrow we do have a hangout, and it would be useful to have a star persona on you for this. Your electric fan has gotten old and noisy. Well, at least it isn't totally broken, and at least we're getting out of summer, so not having a fan is at least a little better now. I've said at least way too much. So yeah, to hang out at Akihabara. I wonder if Futaba would like this, though actually no, she probably was very adept at buying fans considering she lived in her room for years. So yeah, another quick outing tomorrow. Cause it's actually a public holiday, I'll have to check the calendar to see what holiday it is. Well, I mean, at least you aren't freaking out the way Futaba did. I would have to say I like Hifumi's casual outfit.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
And hey, Yusuke's showing up for this. So we do have enough points for the next star rank right now, but I think you do need to do this one in order to get some of the other hangouts with her. Your school, Yusuke, are you really that out of touch with the people in your own school? Though the answer's probably yes. Yeah, it seems like Kosei is a bit more of like a gifted, you know, specific talent school. Oh boy, you probably can't afford any fans or air conditioners, so you have to go to libraries. Now, actually, you pretty much already revealed back in summer that you like to go to libraries just for the air conditioning. Or that. And this is yet another case where I told you that one time in summer was the one exception. Other than that, every single time that you had the option to suggest stripping to Yusuke, always do it. I mean, it's good to see someone so traditional, at least liking modern day technology. I guess they're kind of as overdramatic as each other sometimes. And yeah, this is the best one.
Indeed.
Huh, these are some of these. I mean, I call them Dysons, but I'm pretty sure that's a brand name. It's one of those kind of brand name takeover things. Yeah, I actually have one of those. I'm not entirely sure how they work.
Huh?
And now yet another person has come to join this party. Yes, she's a, hopefully soon former cult member who also helps tell fortunes. In fact, she's part of the reason we're so close to all of you. She knows everything. Past, present, and future. Indoor plumbing, it's gonna be big. Yeah, I can... quote that movie all day. I wonder if she has a sort of a mild form of third eye that she can actually see the confidant bonds that we have. Well, one of their stars literally burns with intensity. The literal part being the star, not the burning. Yusuke has the literal burning in this case. Seems like today is the day when everyone's fans break down.
Is this?
Maybe the store can make this official new fan day. We can pursue bladeless fans together. But how can the blade of inspiration cut things if it's bladeless?
What?
And so Chihiya's mind was opened in ways she never expected. And coming up as a TV question, that's another one of those things that seeing in the guide out of context looks really weird. Worker rights and the punishments for violating these standards. Which of these is the punishment for forced labor? 10 years in prison, 20 million yen fine. Yeah, the thing that looks funny out of context, 10 years in prison. Which is also one of the punishments for not buying something from the golden age of ballooning. Really? You sure about that? I mean, we might uncover something that actually does make him guilty of forced labor.
Nice going!
I wonder if any, like, Japanese company presidents have ever gone through jail time for mistreating employees and forced labor. Okumura Foods must be like the Shujin of the workplace environment. And actually, tonight we're going to be seeing Hierophant, and I don't need to get a matching persona for this either, because I already have Daisojo. But two things, though. Firstly, I want to see if Drunk Man is around, and secondly, I want to do a kindness boost if I'm doing Hierophant. Me okay? You're the one talking to a rock, just sitting on the side of the road. But even a rock like me can help people. Throw me! Just throw me at the evil corporation. Okay, that was not what I was expecting. Oh, let's talk to these kids. We haven't talked to them in a while. Well, I mean, on a phone, you can get a whole lot of free games, just be careful. I still worry so much about kids getting into gacha games and, like, free-to-play stuff, especially since many of them actually get your credit card details without you even really knowing, and then they have that whole one-tap buy thing where a kid can just press something and they'll just make a purchase without even doing a confirmation. I think even Fire Emblem Heroes does that, which, yeah. Oh no, I just realized that the Shinjuku Predators are probably saying new things. Yes, they are. Ah, good, you've finally given up on him. Thank you.
What shall we do?
But anyway, I have money to spare, so I'm going to do another kindness reading. And now we're ready.
All right, then.
So yeah, because Futaba's involved in this one, as you can probably tell, this is the first rank up that's locked until after she joins. I actually really like the way they do this. I know it's frustrating to have some confidants locked out to you for a while, but at the same time, it means that other party members can take part in them.
Oh, that's right.
Not sure what anime came out in 2016. I don't really remember watching much from that era. I like the father-daughter banter they have. Well, yeah, we're already pretty much addicted to this stuff. Plus, it's good for SP. Let me guess. I think you're about to reveal who made this recipe, even though it was already pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he says, we've probably realized by now. That must be why you make it. Yeah, this is actually something as well, like again, it's purely headcanon that she was on the autism spectrum, but if she was, it kind of debunks that stereotype that many people on the spectrum just don't understand human behavior or psychology or aren't good at socializing. Because yeah, many are really good at it. So that's why you're a bachelor, wow. I feel like autism spectrum is usually not this hereditary, though. Well, I mean, that's completely understandable. Yeah, I think I've heard people say that smells are one of the senses most linked to memories. Yeah, that's what I was saying before, yeah. Again, like, I like that. They're showing how perceptive she was. Yeah, all of that stuff earlier about, you know, Sojiro and, like, having another girl over, like, all those people coming into the cafe talking about that, yeah. Kind of is a little harsher in hindsight, as it's implied that, the reason why Sojiro hasn't really had any luck is that he's still Still mourning Wakaba. And yeah, when Sojiro says that she'd already had Futaba by that point, it's never really revealed who the father was. And again, I don't know if my theory really holds water, but it's one that I do plan on talking about eventually. And yeah, that's where Sojiro always heads every night, back to his house where Futaba is. Aha! Yep, that paid off! And now, there we go. We are pure perfection, just like Sojiro's curry. We are now angelic, and we never need to pay 5,000 yen for a stat reading ever again. And ironically, the only thing that's good for is advancing Sojiro's confidant, so, yeah. And it's not even required until quite late, too. Yeah, I mean, she can't have curry and instant noodles all the time. I think the instant noodles has a pretty massive salt, amount. Just realized, though, it's a bit of a weird time to be getting to be ranking up kindness, because we would have got some kindness points from Tower anyway, but oh well.